In today's video, we are going to talk about what could be the greatest discovery in human history. Now that sounds like a bold statement, and I'm sure you're thinking this guy is crazy. But stick with me here. I will show you some discoveries that were made that have completely changed our view on how ancient civilizations lived, why they may have had planes flying around 2,000 years ago, and what this could mean for all of us. It's incredible stuff. So, let's dive into it. This is one of the most controversial discoveries in recent times, but before we get into that, let's take a look at this incredible map right here. The reason why I wanted to show you this map was to draw your attention to the Nazca lines. Yes, the Nazca lines in Peru. They are pretty incredible, and a lot of people go there to see them. But deep within the Nazca lines is something very controversial, and it has been kept secret for a long time. You can just barely make out two figures standing next to each other. If you look closely, you will notice that one of these men is holding what appears to be a tablet or a laptop. In the other hand, he is pointing up towards the sky like he is looking up at an aircraft. This has led many researchers to believe that these two figures are depicting an ancient pilot and his passenger, possibly even an extraterrestrial being, and that they are describing the first ever flight by airplane or helicopter thousands of years ago. Of course, this would change history forever if this was true. Now, mainstream scientists and historians will tell you this is ridiculous. But there is another researcher who agrees with this theory. His name is Erich von Däniken, and he believes that there is a connection between these ancient astronauts and aliens from another planet. According to Erich, these ancient people saw technology that they didn't understand, such as airplanes, and they worshiped them as gods. He also believes that some of the tablets held by ancient humans are actually pilots' instruments used on ancient aircraft. Now again, this is quite controversial. But listen, if this was true, then why haven't we found any evidence of ancient planes? Well, here is where things get really interesting. A few years ago, some farmers in Bolivia were excavating the land for crops. While doing so, they unearthed an incredible artifact that looked exactly like a plane. I know it looks fake, but I promise you this is 100% real. When they unearthed this artifact, they sent it to a lab for testing. And while it was in the lab, apparently someone broke it. However, not before taking pictures of it. It was probably a lab accident, but whatever happened, this artifact is now destroyed. The reason why this is so sad is because we could have learned so much about ancient technology from it. Unfortunately, this is not the only time that this has happened. There have been countless artifacts throughout history that could have changed everything that have either been destroyed or hidden away by authorities. It's almost like there are some forces at play that don't want the truth to come out. Alright, let's dive into some intriguing examples of mysterious artifacts that have really left experts scratching their heads. First up, we have the Baghdad battery. It's basically a clay jar with a copper tube inside. When archaeologists unearthed it, they noticed something curious. The copper tube was corroded, suggesting it was used repeatedly. This has led researchers to think it might have been some kind of battery. But just how advanced were they back then? Well, we can't say for sure because, believe it or not, this artifact was stolen shortly after its discovery. Go figure. Moving on, there's this golden artifact from Egypt, dating back to 3000 BCE. It bears a striking resemblance to an electric switch. Now, how could the ancient Egyptians have had something like a light switch 5,000 years ago? It's baffling. This artifact is currently housed at the Brooklyn Museum. And when I say housed, I mean it's locked away in a vault, out of sight. That's how valuable and perhaps dangerous it is to those in power. Finally, let's talk about the Antikythera mechanism. This ancient Greek device was discovered in a shipwreck and is thought to be the world's first analog computer. It was used to calculate astronomical positions, eclipses, and even the timing of the Olympic Games. You can find this artifact at the National Archaeological Museum in Athens, but once again it's locked away in a vault. Why are these artifacts being kept from public view? Could they hold secrets that might rewrite history? Or is it all just a big conspiracy theory? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. So, if the Baghdad battery, the Antikythera mechanism, and this golden Egyptian switch are all real, then we might be looking at evidence that ancient civilizations actually had access to electricity. And if they had electricity, just imagine the possibilities. They could have developed all sorts of technology, maybe even planes. And if that's the case, who knows how advanced they really were? Could they have had spaceships too? But if they did, Where are they now? Where's the proof? Well, we've got a few theories on that too. One theory suggests that ancient civilizations were wiped out by natural disasters like floods or earthquakes. We find evidence of this in the Bible, which mentions a great flood covering the earth. It also talks about the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah. Some folks think this could have been a nuclear attack. And here's where it gets really interesting. When researchers examined the area believed to be Sodom and Gomorrah, they discovered something shocking: traces of a nuclear reaction in the soil. This implies that Sodom and Gomorrah might have been destroyed by a nuclear bomb. Now, if this were true, it would be a monumental revelation. It would change our understanding of history. But wait, there's more. Researchers have found similar traces of nuclear reactions in other parts of the world, like Greece and Egypt. This suggests that ancient civilizations might have been targeted by a nuclear attack, which could explain their advanced technology. It's a fascinating theory, isn't it? Another theory is that ancient civilizations were visited by extraterrestrials, who gave them technology and knowledge. We have evidence of this in the Bible as well, where it talks about angels visiting people and giving them gifts. But again, this is where things get interesting. Researchers have found evidence of extraterrestrial activity all over the world, such as strange structures that could have been used for landing crafts and tools that could have been used by aliens. This evidence is often ignored or dismissed, but it's still there. And finally, we have the theory that ancient civilizations were more advanced than we think, and that they developed technology on their own. We have evidence of this in the fact that ancient civilizations built amazing structures such as the pyramids and temples, which required advanced knowledge of engineering and mathematics. But again, this is where things get interesting. Researchers have found evidence of ancient technology all over the world, such as devices that could have been used for navigation and communication. This evidence is often ignored or dismissed, but it's still there. So what do you think? Could ancient civilizations have had planes? Could they have been wiped out by a nuclear attack? Or were they visited by extraterrestrials? Let me know what you think in the comments below. Now, if you enjoyed this video, check out this video over here. It is one of our most popular videos, and it's all about 6 biblical cities that were uncovered by archaeologists. You are in for a wild ride. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.